All right, we're live now. It is Thursday night. It's 9 o'clock Eastern Time, which means it's time for our Mastery Chat recap. Just got done with a great Mastery Chat. I've got Jen here who led us in that chat. Super active, really fun chat. So super excited about it. We're going to recap it. Make sure you drop in the comments, say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and let Jen know how awesome she did. You can go ahead and fill the comments with green hearts. That would be okay too. We will be back in about 60 seconds. All right, it's recap time. Jen, how you doing over there? How you feeling right now?
Great. I'm overwhelmed. I can't keep up with all the comments, and I want to keep responding, so I have to like pull
Those are
away.
always that's my you can go back. You'll be able to get back. I see you like while the music was playing. It's like you're turning back to your computer, typing and going. I totally get it. I love it. I love when it's this. And it was that tonight. Great chat tonight. It was a super exciting one. Jeff Kaplan joined us tonight. He's shooting the hearts off and saying a great time. It's been a little while because he has stuff that he does with school. Can't always be on, but says awesome time to rejoin the chat. It was a great chat tonight. Christy, good to see you. So Jen, let's start here with because it's been a little while since you've been. When's the last time you were live with us?
I don't know, maybe a year even. I don't know. It's flown by.
No, it hasn't been a year because you were popping in monthly. I don't know. It's been long enough.
The grid chats. Yeah, it hasn't been a year.
Yeah, you do the grid chat. Yeah. So, but just in case someone's watching tonight that doesn't know you, that's not connected with you, that maybe didn't catch your intro in the chat and stuff like that, can you do a quick who is Jen?
Well, this year I'm a principal.
I know.
So I've been an educator for 20 years, and this year I took the leap and became an administrator. Great year to do it, by the way. Learned a ton. Yeah. And then I wrote the Happy Teacher's Handbook, which is like my little pride and joy.
And you've blogged quite a bit with us as well.
Yeah.
Lots of blogs over there. Lots. Yes. Well, awesome chat. So let's talk to the chat. So the chat was stronger than we started. Strategies for supporting our students as we head into the home stretch, which is just perfect for right now. When you were putting together the topic and the questions and everything, kind of laying them all out, what was going through your head? What were you hoping that everyone was going to take away from tonight? And then second part of that question is, do you think they got that out of the chat tonight? Two parts.
I was even more impressed with all the answers. My first goal was inspiration, because I feel like this is a year that we need that. And now we've been sustaining this for so long, the questions and the trying different things and the risk and the virtual. And oh my gosh, like now that we're thinking about wrapping it up and it's coming so quickly, I just want to keep us in the game, keep that inspiration going, why we're here. And holy cow, these responses, it just like the theme kept going to relationships and connections. And I thought, wow, how ironic, because this whole time of being socially distant and everyone is bringing back to like heart-centered people, like we still connected. And that just lifted me up hearing all those responses. And I think just the second part, aside from just being inspired, is I wanted to leave everybody positive. I wanted to focus them, on what have they really accomplished. And somebody said like the silver lining, and I was like, that's so true. Like to help them see the silver lining of this whole year.
Yeah. And I think check on all those, nailed it. I'm with you. I love there was just a definite theme of relationships over all else. I loved how many were, I learned to step away or to not worry about my curriculum as much. I learned to not worry about test scores as much. I learned to redefine what assessment is. I learned to how to build relationships deeper, even though we were distant. I mean, just constant the whole time. And so definitely hit on that note. And I think the inspiration and knowing that we're not alone, knowing that we got a whole group of family that's got our backs, I think absolutely accomplished there. So sticking with the questions, was there a particular question that when you were putting together that you were either particularly excited to see the answers or just interested or curious to see what the answers were? And then did it play out that way? Did it surprise you? Did it hit what you were hoping for? What was the question that you were really excited to ask?
Well, the one
Do you
that's
recall?
the one that's sticking with me right now is the last one, the crazy awesome ideas. I feel like that kind of opened up something in people, and it's like, well, this is it is a crazy idea, but since you said crazy, I feel like I have permission to share it. And it's like, oh, yes, do that. That's an awesome idea. So I think when you kind of package it like, well, if you had this really amazing idea, like what could you do with it? And the
Yeah.
things that they're sharing, I'm like, oh, so I feel like that's something that might unlock a whole bunch of crazy ideas that are going to turn out to be awesome.
Yeah, I hope people go back and just scour through all those because they're gonna either find an idea or something that sparks another idea in their head, or it's yeah. I like that. It was a great way to wrap it up. Um, any tweet, and this is, I don't expect you to give it back to us word for word, but were there any tweets or maybe themes, and we've kind of touched on a few of them, but anything that really stood out, really grabs your attention, particularly like whether it was a specific tweet or a conversation thread that happened or anything like that that really just grabbed you tonight?
So many, and I think some of the ones that let's see. There's one about vulnerability. Who was the guy? Maybe it was
Oh,
Mark.
was it Mike Earnshaw where we talked about his weaknesses and being
Yes.
humble and honest and vulnerable? Oh yeah, someone, I think it was Jillian, commented like, "This gave me chills." Oh man, I wish I could pull that up. It was early on. It was when what he took away from it. Right, he talked about really having to focus on his weaknesses. He used to be able to lead by his strengths, but he had to like lean into his weaknesses and do that to be a better. It was a great answer. He said it much better than I just did,
And
but
yes, he said he had to embrace his weaknesses. And it's like,
yes,
ooh, oh my gosh, because it's like that's not a typical thing. Like it's we're kind of focusing on all the cool things and the good things, but they're like holy cow, embrace our weaknesses. So I love that one too. There was somebody
yeah.
else too that said something about just being vulnerable and like just we kept showing up, and I don't know. I love that whole vulnerability piece. I think that's powerful.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. Who was? I think it might have been Kaplan. I enjoyed Jeff Kaplan that said one of his the successes, whatever. He's like, I taught through a pandemic. Like that was pretty. Like he's not wrong. Like look, I'm giving him props, and then he giving me junk here. Anyway, what's going on, Brad? Good to see you. Megan's here with us as well. So okay. One thing I love doing with our moderators, I love throwing your questions back at you because one of my and I say this all the time. One of my favorite parts about Master Chat is that you and I were both in the same chat tonight, but we had two very different experiences in a way, in the sense of like I went down certain rabbit holes, you went down other rabbit holes, and there's so much going on. It was such a great chat tonight. Like I didn't catch all your answers. I didn't see. I don't know if I saw, but a couple of them, right? And so I love throwing it because it also puts you on the spot. We're going to see real time. We're going to dive into one more. So I'm going to look at the questions here real quick and see which one I want to throw at you. Actually, I love question one. So question one was, how has your teaching gotten stronger this year? And I saw a lot of good stuff there, but what's the thing that you pulled for your teaching / your leadership this year? I'm sure there's a million ways, since it was your first year as a principal, that it got strong. But what was your answer? And can you maybe dive into it a little bit deeper for us?
Yeah. I had to start the year as an administrator with virtual meetings with my staff. So like so I had to start, building those relationships, giving them information about how the school year was going to start virtually, like that information is so like, here's what's going to happen with students. Here's if we're going to be in person. Like that's also, oh my gosh, it was such delicate stuff. And I thought, how on earth am I going to connect with my new staff when we're all in little boxes on the TV? So, we just learned and came together, and I mean, I'm grateful that we were able to start in person, so that, I mean, I did have people, I did have staff to connect with, but I mean, it's also in such a different weird way with masks and everyone spread out at different tables. But I think we learned to connect with each other and still build those relationships. And I feel like this kind of, it boiled everything down to prioritizing like what is really important, what matters most right now. And it was always about, how are we going to connect with kids and academics? Yes. But in the threads I read throughout the Twitter chat, like we were all about making those connections and making sure that kids were okay and that they felt safe and that they were heard. And then somebody else said, who are you grateful for? And there were people that were saying, we're grateful for our students for sticking with us. Like, yes, absolutely. Like we're grateful for colleagues and all that stuff, but oh my gosh, our kids stayed with us through all these experiments and the virtual, and we had a remote day when our internet went out at school. It's like, well, and teachers are plugging in their phones for hotspots. So just that whole part of we did what was important. And you know what I mean? Like I feel like everybody just comes together and we just do it. It's kind of like if there's an emergency in town, like the community just kind of rallies around and supports everyone. And I feel like that's what we did. And that was our focus. And it seems collectively that's kind of where schools went this year.
Yeah. I love it. I'm going to throw another one at you. Let me see here. Actually, I want to know number 7. What's a crazy idea that's crossed your mind that you'd like to pull off?
I have so many.
Because I did not see your answer to this. I don't know what it is. I'm completely blind here.
Well, I want to have a catered dinner for my staff.
Ooh.
For all of my staff, for my custodians, my cafeteria workers. I want them all to come, and I want them to bring their families, and I want them to sit and not have to get their food. I want it to be like delivered to them and have some kind of award where I recognize everyone. It's just a little idea, but
it's actually a pretty big idea when you think about your staff and all the family members and everything.
I know.
So where are we at on the idea? Do you know where, if you could do it, and as long as you could do it in social distance and all that stuff, like, do you know where you'd go, who you'd go to get it catered, like what you want it to be?
Well, I've reached out to some parents and they're really excited about it. And I've got some connections for caterers. And I've got some parents who are willing to kind of help me out, get it set up. I've
help serve and stuff too, possibly, or
Just so I've got a lot of things in the works. I've got flowers already for all the teachers, and I don't know. We've got a fun thing, lots of fun things planned. But it's big. But I don't know. I feel like if this was the year to spoil my staff, let's do it. Let's try it. So I'm going to start and see where it goes. And I've got my sights set on this big vision. So we'll see.
I love it. Well, keep us updated because that sounds cool. And that would be just such a good thing for all of them, their families coming together. I mean, all of that. Yes. What a way to wrap up the year, I love it. Okay. I'm doing another one. I got another one here. So, you asked for question 5, what can you do to inspire your colleagues to run to school next month?
So it's kind of the same premise. So I was thinking about, Teacher Appreciation Week is the first week in May. And I thought our kids have really loved dress up days. One of their favorites is dress up like cowgirls, and they wear their cowboy hats. It's one of my favorites too. And we even did it virtually. The kids were dressing up. So I thought the first week of May, I have like a little dress up day, and where Friday, everyone's going to dress up really fancy. And that's when the kids are going to bring their teachers flowers. So how fun would it be to run to school to have all your kids all dressed up and bring me flowers? And so the theme of the week is helping our teachers become happy campers. And so we have like a hiking day when you can dress like a hiker, and they're going to bring a granola bar and stuff like that. So every day we have a different theme to dress up with, and then the teachers are going to get something little from their kids. So what do you want to run to school for that?
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely run to school for that. I love that. I love just the idea of running to school, and being excited for that. So, I didn't ask. So, have you been? What's it been all year? Has it been virtual all year? Have you done hybrid? Are you hybrid now? What's the where? Do you, how has it been for you and your staff?
Back and forth.
Back and forth.
Yeah, we started in person. We were like, wow, this is amazing. And then all of a sudden, shoot, we went remote for most of December. And then it was random 2 weeks remote. We were back, not enough staff. We had to go remote. But I'd say we've been pretty consistently back since February-ish.
Okay, it's February-ish. I like it. Awesome. So, all right. Well, let me just ask you one more, and then I'm going to let you go because it's late here in Ohio. Um, if you could share with our Teach Better family any, I don't know if you call them words of wisdom or maybe words of inspiration, that you would like them to kind of just take with them tonight and in through the rest of this as we're heading towards the finish, what would you say? You've said a lot tonight, but like the floor is here eventually, or here like officially yours.
Okay. I'd have to say, one thing that I've implemented this year is a hobby again. I've been teaching forever, and I gave up horseback riding when my son was born about 11 years ago.
Okay.
And that was kind of my thing. And I just thought, holy cow, I don't have time to teach and have a family and ride horses. Like, it's all really big stuff. Well, this fall, I started a new job as principal. It's a pandemic. Things are crazy. So why not pick up horseback riding? Like, I have plenty of time.
Sure, why not?
I did it. And I created, so I'm like, I'll just ride once a week. That'll be great. I ended up, I think in January, I rode a horse every day for like 20 days in a row. Every day.
Wow.
So how do you go from like, I don't even have time for this to I could fit that in every day in the winter, in a pandemic, as a principal, whatever. So it lights me up. It is a stress reliever. It's exercise. When I go to the barn and I ride horses, everything else disappears and I become stronger. I become more resilient. I am a better person. I'm a better mom. I'm a better teacher. I'm a better principal. And so my word of advice is just to find that thing that lights you up, and don't sacrifice that. Like, find a way to plan it, get it in, start it once a week, just and see where it goes. But cultivate that, because that will make you a better person, a better leader, a better teacher, better for our kids.
That is powerful and important. I mean, you gotta take that's it's all taking care of yourself, filling your cup up, and committing to that, and getting back to that in the middle of a pandemic with a brand new job and leadership. Like, that's crazy. So that's awesome. I do need to know. I thought it was humorous. I didn't want to interrupt your moment that you were talking about horseback riding and you said holy cow. So that was just a moment for me. I was like, is it horses or cows, Jen? No, so that's great. So you used to ride. Did you ride like competition, or it was just something fun that you did all the time, or you did competition? Like,
I rode
like
dressage, and
I don't know what that means. It sounds cool though.
It's very cool. It's like some people call it horse dancing, like the horse is doing like these different moves.
Oh, no kidding. You're getting them to do all that, huh? Okay, so you know how to ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. That's awesome. Now, do you have your own? Is it a stable that you go to that's somewhere local to you, or how does that work?
Well, just to add to the fun, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to buy a horse?
Of course you did.
Because I need more responsibilities, and I have all this.
Sure.
So I accidentally found a horse that was for sale, and he's getting checked out by the vet tomorrow.
Like right now? You're like kidding right now? Wow. So that's not gonna stay at your house, right? You rent space at a barn, or is it coming to your house? I don't know. I guess I don't know what you might have. You might have a stable at your house, huh?
I have a barn. I have 11 acres.
Okay.
He's coming.
Oh, yeah. Wow. No kidding. Does your family know, or are you sneaking it in? You're looking around a little bit like maybe no one else knows. I'm just saying, like, just.
Well, it did happen really quickly, and it wasn't like, I think they're okay with it. They're helpful, and my daughter rides them too, so.
Okay, well that's exciting. My daughter Jacqueline, she's 6. She loves horses, and actually she got to ride. She rode last year just once, and I think might be something we'll get her a little more into. But there's a place here in town that's got some good rates for getting in, and they did nice with her. So that's crazy though. You got a horse coming to your house.
I know.
So you gotta go like get hay and stuff, and
Yes.
like.
We just had.
Oh man, when I was younger, I used to clean the
stalls.
horse stalls.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just a small thing. So it was just 2, or no 3, but yeah, that's no fun.
Well, and see, for me,
Just
like,
saying.
it's therapeutic, and I'm outside, and
Sure.
I don't know, but like, who at the beginning of this year, if you would have said, "Oh, Jen, by the way, you're gonna ride horses and buy a horse," I'm like, you are nuts. You were crazy.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like, well, Liv mentioned like the puppies, like I'm getting their like pandemic puppies, like you're getting a pandemic horse, like. Everyone's like, boy, I could really use a puppy in the house to keep me company. You're like, I think we need a horse. Like, I love it. That's great.
You can't get one. Like, I just can't have a horse by himself. So we're getting a miniature horse for his buddy. So,
So you're getting 2 horses? Like, is it a horse and a pony?
Buy one, get one free.
Buy one, get one free. Is it a pony or is it it's a miniature? Like,
it's a miniature horse. I mean, she's little. Like,
okay,
little.
Interesting.
I'll have to share pictures.
Okay. You need to put some pictures out on your social media here, so everyone watching can catch up with you and watch your horses. That is awesome. I love it. Yeah, that's awesomely, amazingly incredible. It really is. That's really cool. So, well, congrats to you for doing that for yourself. That's really cool. And I hope everyone listening takes that and finds their thing. I think that's super duper important. Megan says she accidentally buys things all the time. Not a horse, but cool. I love it. This is great. All right, Jen. I appreciate you so much. I'm so happy that I got to be the one that went live with you tonight. Awesome job with the chat. I know you got to go back in and read all the stuff that you still got to catch up with, which is like one of my favorite parts is going back and getting all the stuff that I missed. So that's good. Next week, we've got, who's leading next week? Mike is leading next week. Zapanic, I think is how I say it. Mike, I've known you, we've been connected for so long, and I've always just said Mike S. Mike Zapanic, one of our ambassadors, we had to change some stuff up, and he stepped up and has taken it. So super excited for that. On Saturday, just 2 days from now, we've got the 12-hour live starting at 8 a.m. Eastern time. That's going to be a good time. That's 12 hours of free PD, 15 different segments going on. We got giveaways all day long, and we've got guests dropping in all day long. It's going to be incredible. So hopefully you all will join us there, whether you join for an hour, a half hour, or all 12. It'll be really good to see everybody there. And so I think I covered everything. Master Chat next week. Join us on Saturday for 12-hour live. Make sure you connect with Jen and you're following her because she's going to be sharing some videos and stuff from her horse, so we don't want to miss that. She shares other stuff that's good for, like education and stuff, but like the horse pictures is where we're all going. So we'll be looking for that. Appreciate you all, Jen. Appreciate you so much. And we'll see you guys all on Saturday.